What's good, Steps Ahead gang? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that tuned in last week. We definitely had a lot of good feedback from that video, so if you haven't checked that video out, make sure you check it out after this one. So if you're new to this channel, or it's your first time actually clicking on this video, over here at Steps Ahead TV, we're all about substance content. So from brand reviews to how-tos to travel reviews, just depending on how we're feeling during the week, that's what we decide what we're going to bring to you guys, and it'll only give you that extra little knowledge, extra little step to keep you a step ahead of the competition. With all that good stuff out the way, you know I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know now, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to my channel, this is the time to do it, because we got a lot of good content coming to you on this video today. So before we actually get into the breakdown of how to start a business, I just want to give you guys a round of applause, because at the end of the day, if you clicked on this video, then obviously you must feel like you want to either take the step to become an entrepreneur, or you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur and you just want to see what are the first initial steps before actually owning your actual business, what you need to go through. So give you guys one more time a round of applause, because at the end of the day, taking that step to being an entrepreneur, you know, that financial freedom is definitely a big step. It comes with a lot of responsibilities, but if done correctly, it's priceless. So let's go ahead and dive into the entrepreneurship world. So the first thing you should be looking at when you're starting a business is your purpose. Now, having a purpose is very important to your actual longevity of the business, because if you're out here just trying to start a business and you don't have an exact purpose of why you want to start the business, then you'll start to see as you get down, you know, later into your business, and you know, your motivation starts to dwindle, and then you look back and you're like, why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have a purpose of why you're doing something, then I guarantee more than likely you won't be as motivated to continue to do it, because now it's more of a chore instead of actual passion. You know what I'm saying? You have a reasoning behind why you want to do it. So finding your purpose will be definitely imperative to you being able to be a successful businesswoman or businessman. Now, when it comes to your actual, you know, purpose, it can be financial freedom. You could be tired of working for somebody else, or you could just be that person that just wants your time back. And going into the entrepreneurship field, you understand that the purpose of creating the business is to get your time back, and, you know, financial freedom, where you're able to pay your bills on time, and you're able to, you know, help other people in the actual community with jobs and your actual skills. So that right there can be a little, you know, challenging, figuring out your purpose. But if you take enough time into figuring out your purpose, I feel like all these other steps will just, you know, be a little bit easier. I mean, at the end of the day, entrepreneurship is not easy, but it'll help the process for you to at least know where you want to start. So now that you have your actual purpose, now we get into the next step, or the process of starting a business. And that's figuring out your passions and your hobbies that could potentially be turned into a business. So this can get kind of tricky, because not all passions and not all hobbies can be a business. But that's the small-minded thought process. Any passion or any hobby that you do can be turned into a business. It just depends on your mindset. You know, as an entrepreneur, you got to be willing to think outside of the box. Anytime you're thinking inside the box, you're getting left behind. So, for instance, you know, if you like shopping a lot, you know, you might be able to become a personal stylist, you know, where you're able to be around the industry, you know, buy the things that you like, but instead, you know, you want to let somebody else wear. You know, you put your fashion sense, or, you know, drip, or whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying, you put that towards someone else, you know what I'm saying, and they can enjoy, you know, what you actually bring to the table. So that's example number one. Example number two, you know, if you like hair, you know, that's the big thing now. People are doing hair, and, you know, that's not going away. There's always going to be somebody that needs to have their hair done or shape up or whatever the case may be. There you go, you know what I'm saying? Another passion that you're into, now you can turn it into an actual business. So going through the process of figuring out your hobbies, what you're into, you know what I'm saying, what fits your actual, you know, character, that right there is going to take, you know, a little process. But you don't want to skip this process either, because like I said before, all these build on top of each other. So make it easier for yourself. Do your due diligence right here in these first 2 steps, and everything else will kind of fall in line, but you'll still have to make your adjustments. Also, what I meant to add at the beginning was, during this time, this is when you start writing down your actual hobbies and what you're interested in, because this will help, you can start to visualize what you could potentially do as far as businesses, so anytime you can visualize, what you're potentially going to do, it'll help with, figuring out what direction you want to go. So now that you have your purpose and your hobbies and what you're interested in written down, the next topic will be, what type of business are you planning on bringing to the world? So you have services, manufacturing, and you have merchandising. Now for service can be a limo service, transportation type service, or you do hair and nails, or you cut hair. That would be considered a service. Next you have merchandising. So that would be, you're pretty much reselling other brands. You get it at a wholesale price and you're able to turn a profit by selling it back out to the community or the public for a higher price. Your third and final actual job type is manufacturing. Now manufacturing is pretty straightforward too. It's you're actually making the goods, not selling somebody else's goods that already been made. So let's just say if you have a company where you want to make your own shoe brand. So instead of you selling Nike or Adidas, you would actually go out and manufacture your own shoes, from the laces to the bottoms to the whole nine, pretty much putting the whole shoe together. Another example of manufacturing would be if you have your own, let's say, food recipe, and you're actually cooking the food, you're actually putting the actual ingredients in the food that's not already laid out from someone else. That would be considered manufacturing. So you have your 3 options that you can choose from when you're deciding to pick your actual job type. This again is another important part of the actual creating your own business process, just because if you don't understand what type of business you're bringing to the world, then later on down the line, when you start to look at your target audiences as far as who's actually going to be either participating in this service or buying, anything from goods or, food or whatever the case may be from you, it'll be a little bit harder later on down the line, because you don't even know what type of business you're bringing to the table. So another good point that you don't want to miss out on once you get, past your purpose. Like I said, once you have your purpose and once you have your actual hobbies written down and your interests written down, next up, that's something you want to look into, because that'll help you once you get later on into your process. Now that you have a purpose, you have your hobbies and what you're interested in, and you have what type of business you want to bring to the world, now you want to look at your actual target audience. Now, like I said before in the step before, this is something that's very important, because if you're launching a service or you're launching a product and you're presenting it to people that could care less about your product or have no actual use for it, then you're wasting your time. This right here could really, discourage people, because, if you're coming out with a new product or a new service and you launch it and you see you're not getting the type of reaction, from people either commenting or, giving you some type of feedback on the product, that right there can definitely throw you for a loop and throw you off your actual, entrepreneurship journey. So figuring out your target audience, yes, it will take a little time, because you have to see, who needs this product. Why would they come to you over, going to Walmart or going to, those mainstream stores? What's going to, set you aside to make them actually want to purchase from you or actually take on a service from you? So finding your target audience, like I said, and I'm going to keep saying it, it's a very, very important piece of building your actual business, because that'll help you, later on down the line when you're launching products or when you're looking for, a new product. Who you're actually targeting this product to, and from their actual feedback, from product reviews into just, the overall engagement from you starting a business, that would definitely help you, as you decide to, move forward in your business. As your business starts to grow, of course, you're going to have to start bringing new, services or new products to it. So that'll help within your process, because at the end of the day, the people that, support you, those are people you want to hear from, because at the end of the day, it's not so much about what you want, it's about what the community wants. And you know, if you're making the community happy by giving a service or a product, then at the end of the day, that's what the business is all about. So now that you have a purpose, you have your hobbies and what you're interested in and what type of business you want to bring to the world and your actual target audience, the last step in the first process of starting your actual business is, you already know, you can't get around it, is your finances. You need to figure out how you're going to finance this actual business that you want to bring about, either it's from your pocket or it's from, you know, other investors. So with that being said, to kind of get a rough estimate start, you know, you kind of want to round up. You know, you don't want to lowball yourself, because from what I've realized, you know, usually if it's going to be, you know, $100, then you might as well just say, look, 150 to 175, because you got to, you know, give yourself some leeway, you know, from things going up in prices, you know, supply and demand, or shortages, or whatever the case may be. You want to give yourself some leverage. You know, you kind of want to be over the budget in a sense, because at the end of the day, the money, once you start, it will start flowing, and it will start spending pretty fast. So you definitely want to be strategic on how you actually spend your money, because at the end of the day, this is your business, you know, and the only person that's going to believe in it more than you is nobody. You're going to be the person that's going to believe in this business. You're going to be the driving force behind your business. So when you understand that, you start to become the brand, and it's more of a lifestyle. You know, a lot of people like to jump into the entrepreneurship world, but not realizing that it's a type of lifestyle. You have to be carrying yourself at all times as a businesswoman or businessman, because when you do that, it starts to take over you. You know, everything that you do, you always thinking, you know, business savvy or business mindset, then it only flourish over to your actual businesses when you decide to, you know, make your business moves or whatever the case may be. So those are my quick, you know, I think it was 5 to 6 steps to beginning an actual business. Now, again, this was not a full detailed, but this was part of a 3-part series. You know, the next video, depending on how, you know, much reaction I get from it. So I'm gonna definitely need you guys to get down in the comment box and let me know, you know, your feedback on if you want to start a business, or you already started a business, and you know, what are the things that you've been going through, you know, as far as starting it up, and I guess what are the obstacles that been coming, you know, towards you as you just start your business. So it'll definitely be greatly appreciated, and I appreciate you guys. If you stuck around this long, I need you guys to comment down below entrepreneurship, because at the end of the day, anybody that's watching this video, you're that much closer to becoming an entrepreneur. Thanks again for all the love and support. I appreciate you guys tuning in for another gem over here at Steps Ahead TV, and shout out to all my future entrepreneurs and the Steps Ahead gang for putting yourself in a position to, you know, be that much more knowledgeable about a subject that either you have plans on doing or it's something that sparked your interest. And at the end of the day, the more you know, the better you'll be prepared in life. So Steps Ahead TV, we're signing out. Peace.